Hi and welcome to the second episode of my bodybuilding vlog. My name is Nine Troubles and I'm super excited to tell you all about the updates that were happening to me in the past 2 weeks. So in the beginning when I started this vlog, I was a little bit, uncertain like what I'm gonna talk about for every 2 weeks because I train the same, I eat the same. So what can possibly be so exciting to share? But trust me, in the past 14 days, so much happened that I don't even know where to start. So let's try to keep it tight and brief and let's just roll in. So I want to start today with a very big update, which is a very important update because it's actually changed a lot of things in my current preparation. And it's the date of my first show. So initially I was planning to go out on stage on the 9th of September, which was supposed to be a municipal type of competition, like a city level. And after talking to my coach and also seeing something that I'm gonna share in a moment, it's been decided that it's better to actually come out later. My plan was to do the show in the beginning of September, then end of September, then in the beginning of November, and in the middle of November. And then I was ambitious enough to think that I will be able to do a show in the beginning of December. I wanted to do 5 shows in my first season, which is a great idea, but practically it's really hard. It's barely possible because if the shows would at least be back to back, it would have been easier because I would have already been in the shape that I wouldn't have to maintain for a long time. But because the shows that I selected were kind of spread apart, month apart, it would become really hard to stay in the shape that we're gonna prepare for the competitions for all 3 months. That would be really, really unhealthy. So I also went to see the competition. There was a local competition here in Playa del Carmen. The competition was at the state level. And after seeing that competition, I realized that I really don't want to go to anything below that. So my current plan is to go and do my first show on the 23rd of September, which is the state level, which is compulsory to do if you want to go to nationals and international, and then obviously to get a pro level. So that will be my number one. My number two is going to be the show from 4th to 5th of November in Mexico City, actually. I always wanted to go there, and now I have a reason to. And also it's going to be right after Day of the Dead, so I'm super excited about this trip actually. So that will be the nationals. And then there will be the third competition from 10th to 11th of November in Playa del Carmen actually, where I live. And that will be the international level, and that will be the pro qualifier. So in total, I will do 3 competitions this season with the goal to get my pro card. And obviously all the gold along the way. My best shape will be done for the nationals and international. Because to pass the state level, you need to get to the top 3. And actually, from what I've seen last week, it's pretty easy to get there. So we're focusing mainly on getting the best possible shape for the 4th, 5th, 10th, and 11th. And obviously in September, I'm gonna be in a pretty good shape, probably the best shape I've ever been before November. But I feel confident enough that I will be able to pass and get to the national level. So now I want to share something. Yeah, so I went to see the competition and I really wanted to get a sense of what it's like, to know what I'm signing up myself for. So when I go there in September, I know what to expect. It was crazy because I had a really mixed feelings about what I saw, and I actually recorded a video right after I left the venue. So I'm gonna let you guys watch it and then comment on whatever I forgot to add. So here we go. So basically, I got here 2 hours later because obviously I was at the jungle break. Valid excuse. And I only saw the ending, and because I got so late, I thought that when they were calling out different categories and few people would come out on a stage, like 1 person or 2 people, I thought they were just selecting particular people just to compare. But when they were giving out the medals and announcing the winners of prizes, I got shocked because some categories had like one person. Some categories had two people, and they're just bizarre because how can you like, it's just not fair, right? So and in the end, like for example, there were two girls in the bikini classic. They also had like bikini like a new something, maybe it's like, I don't know, juniors, or they consider it to be like the amateur, but none of that was a pro competition, that was an amateur competition. So I don't know why they have two bikini categories, but either way, this new bikini thing, she was the one person, and when I saw her, I was like, I was shocked by the level of preparation. You know, the bodies were more or less good, but like the posing, the walk, damn, like I was just looking at it and I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing all of these mistakes and realizing how important, you know, all the stuff that I'm doing now as my online teacher is, because if you don't walk correctly, if you don't stand correctly, you look like shit. And you can see that. You don't have to, you know, be professional to notice all these mistakes, but because, you know, my online teacher is actually training me on like what not to do and the typical common mistakes. So when I'm seeing all that stuff, I'm just like, oh my god, if my teacher would have seen it, she would have like, I don't know, have a heart attack or something. Anyway, like the guys were well more better prepared. Like you could see, you know, that a lot of them were actually, you know, like maybe doing more competitions previously or been like training hard and been like practicing posing. But girls, damn, like there were some good like bodies in wellness and a physique fit, but like the posing and especially the walking, oh my fucking god. Like after seeing that, I gonna like pay so much attention to my stage walk practice, which I kind of stopped doing, but it's so important. It's so fucking important. Oh yeah, and the other takeaway that I got for myself is that I really need to improve my Spanish, because it's really good that I went today so I could actually hear, you know, what they say, because in the end I kind of I started connecting the dots, and I was understanding like what they want from people on the stage. But if I would have like went for the first time and I've got on the stage and they would talk to me, I would fucking freak out. I would freak out so much because I wouldn't know what they want from me. So yeah, I need to get a Spanish teacher to get myself ready for bodybuilding competition. Who would have thought that for me to get my first prize, I need to get a Spanish teacher? But that's it. Like, yeah, talk to me, Spanish friends. Don't worry, English. Espanol solo. So of course that competition doesn't mean that every state level competition is going to be like that. And maybe, you know, because it's the summer and a lot of people are traveling and are not here, situation will be different in the autumn. So I shouldn't be like, you know, preparing myself for the easy win that I'm gonna be, you know, the only person in a category to win. To be honest, I don't want that. Like I don't want to just go there alone and get a prize by default. I want to feel a sense of competition, because that's kind of the whole point of it, to have other participants on the stage and, you know, to show your best self. I have competitive nature within me, so I would be disappointed if I would be the only person, right? Like at least give me like three more. So there is some sense of actual competition. With all that, you may ask me like, why did I even go for this federation if it's not so popular in Mexico? Because the reality is that there are different federations, like the NPC, and those are a little bit more popular here in Mexico. And as a result, when you get to your finals, you get the different type of pro card, which kind of assigns you to different category, to different federation. And there are two federations, right? They're most popular ones, the IFBB Pro and IFBB Elite Pro. The first one is actually Pro League. So the main difference is that posing is different. Also, the swimsuits that you wear on stage are different in the Pro League and Elite Pro. But the main reason why I decided to go with the Elite Pro is that those guys do randomly drug test people. And I'm very confident that nobody will be like drug testing the amateur level at this point. But when I climb up this ladder and I get to like worlds and universe level, I don't want to compete with the other women who are using pharma and also eating meat to get their gains, because that would be just like very unfair to somebody who is a natural and also vegan. Honestly, I think there should be like separate category for vegans, but that's not really bothering me that much because I'm 100% confident that you can still get same gains being vegan, and I'm going to be the living evidence and the living proof that regardless, if you're a meat eater, pescatarian, or vegan, vegetarian, whoever you want to be, you can still get your physical gains. It's just the pharma part that is concerning me, because like there's just like it's impossible to compete with somebody who's on pharma, all right? It's just incorrect. It's like unethical, I would even say. Anyway, so that's kind of the insight into the competition. So given all these like changes back and forth with my show date, now I'm back to being 12 weeks out, which is kind of crazy because that's what I've been saying like 2 weeks ago. So I'm kind of like in the same time scale in a way, but now I'm like way more aware about what's going to happen in the next 12 weeks. And let's actually dive right into that now. So first, I want to talk about my body evolution in the past month. So I'm not going to be doing these every 2 weeks, but I will be doing these every new month. So on every 4th of every new month that will be coming, you will be seeing the statistics, which is the comparison of me 1 month before and me now. There hasn't been like dramatical change between the past month and now. In terms of like the body proportion, my thigh grew like by half centimeter, my waist shrunk by half centimeter, my chest remained the same, and my glutes also grew by 1 centimeter. Probably hard to notice these changes because they're pretty small. I guess what you can see though in these photographs is that I'm definitely like learning how to do new things in posing. Like I'm figuring out how to like shift my weight on one leg. That's something that I'm still struggling with. I defined my lead and a base arm, but the thing is like what I not so proud of is that I've been slacking on actual posing. So in these 2 videos on a screen right now, you can see that there is a bit of change between where I was like 2 weeks ago to where I am now. And I have to say, when I've been recording the latest video, I've been feeling pretty down, and like I woke up like super tired, so I don't feel like I actually flexed my legs properly, and I did a good job. But I have more understanding, of theory, how to do the side pose. I understand how to, identify the base leg, even though I'm still struggling shifting my weight to it, because when I do that, my entire body kind of twists to the side. So that's still work in progress. I've been convinced that my lead arm would have been the left arm, but actually it feels better when I use my left arm and I put it on my waist, but my shoulders keep on sinking down without even me realizing it. So my posing teacher actually told me to switch, so now we're working with my right arm instead. I really need to do something with my routine, because I have to say that the past 2 weeks been a little bit challenging in terms of me trying to be able to wake up early and do everything that I should. Like, I haven't skipped the gym, of course, I cannot skip it. But I've been slacking on posing, and I really want to work out like the new structure of the day where I'm able to practice posing and dedicate enough energy and time and effort into it as much as I do dedicate to my training, because I've seen with my own eyes how important is the stage walk and how important is the posing. Like, I'm so happy that I went to see the competition, because if I wouldn't see it, I don't think I would have been so you know, triggered to actually do good in it. Um, so I don't know how the schedule gonna look like yet. I'm still yet to redesign my day, but hopefully in 2 weeks I will be sharing some really cool updates about how successful is my new schedule. So yeah, that was a little bit insight into my posing. Now I want to talk more about my nutrition, because from this Monday, from like actually yesterday, I started my cutting phase. And that means that my entire approach to food is changing, and it's going to evolve and change even more in the coming weeks and months. But for now, I want to talk about cheat meals, because this is probably the last time I'm talking about cheat meals until November, until I get my gold and my pro card. So 2 weeks ago, I've been talking about my dream of having vegan pancakes, which I did. So I'm super, super happy that it happened. I felt that I deserved them. I've been working hard. I've been eating well. And I also went out. I went to the party in a jungle, and I've been dancing for like 6 hours non-stop. So I feel like I did my entire cardio for the week in just that one day. And after that, I went to eat those pancakes. So, the first week was like excellent. I was like really proud of myself. But because I haven't slept the whole night, and then, I went to see the competition, it was on the same day. I ended up having another cheat meal, which wasn't quite a cheat meal, but it wasn't cool food that I cooked myself. I ordered online. It was a poke bowl. It was excellent. It was super tasty, but it's still like I can't really like count macros, because I don't really know how many grams of each ingredient went in there. So I had to like guesstimate, which is really not ideal. But at the stage when you're bulking, like, all right, whatever, maybe, you can do that sometimes, but not anymore. Right now, everything is getting like really, really, really strict, because, if I want to get that lean, I really need to be careful with the amount and type of food that I consume. Anyway, so after having like 2 cheat meals in a day, I ended up having like a third cheat meal day after, because I just haven't had energy to go to store to buy ingredients to cook myself food. So my entire week after turned to be a mess. And that's another reason why I need to really like restructure my day, because I really, enjoy going out, and like I really enjoy having the opportunities to kind of like, uncage myself in a way, and it's really needed when you have preparation like the preparation that I'm having. And I'm not going out often. That was like literally the first time I went out since I don't even know when, like since you see, I can't even remember. Like, I don't know, maybe beginning of this year or something. Yeah. And it just destroyed my whole week in terms of like regime. So is it really worth it at this stage? Probably not. It's a great cardio, don't get me wrong, but other than that, I just feel like, I lost more than I gained. Anyway, so cheat meals, they're over. However, I had a really cheeky cheat meal that I decided to have on my last day, even though my coach told me not to. Apologize if you're watching this, like, I'm sorry. And then I would put like completely different thing in my food diary. So I apologize. I admit I did a wrong thing, but I really needed that. I really needed to like consolidate the taste of a sweet popcorn in my heart and in my mind, and I needed to have that moment where I pack it all together in a really like beautiful wrapping and put it on the top shelf and leave it there until the day when I can open that present again and indulge in all its greatness. And that's how I refer to sugar. So I went to cinema with a friend, and I got myself a huge box of popcorn, half sweet, half salty. Not the largest though. It was one below largest, still big enough. And it was just amazing. Like I'm gonna have that moment, stored in my head. And every time I'm gonna feel like, I need something sweet, I'm gonna be meditating on that experience and transferring myself back into that mental state and remembering the taste in my mouth. Because right now it feels, fun and exciting, and I'm anticipating, I'm thrilled. But like at the back of my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Like no cheat meals up until November? That's like what? July, August, September, October, like 4.5 months. I've never been on a diet for that long, like ever. When I was losing weight before that, like I was really like cutting short on my calories and my fats, but I would still eat more. I would still eat some sugar. Like I would still treat myself. So this is like completely new dimension for me, completely new. So we'll see. But I kind of started talking about the emotional stuff. So I want to go back to the nutrition and actually explain to you what are the changes that I'm going to have from now. So up until this week, the way I've been eating was 120 grams of proteins, 70 grams of fats, and 350 grams of carbs per day. So now it's changing to the alternating order. So that would be 120 proteins, 70 fats, 300 carbs in one day. And second day, same amount of proteins, fats, but 250 carbs. And the third day would be the same amount of protein, same amount of carbs, same amount of fats, but 200 grams of carbs. So we'll have the 3-day interval that I'll be switching over and over and over. And I assume that it's not gonna last for that long, because then we're gonna drop carbs even more. So I'll be cutting like really gently and gradually. It's not gonna be just like, bang, you don't eat anything. No, it's gonna be too much stress for the body. So it's gonna be a slow and gradual process. So for now, I'm alternating with my carb intake in such way, but also there are some products that I have to say goodbye to. So no more mangoes, no more bananas, no more potatoes, no more apricots, peaches. Can't say that I ate much of them, but it's just something that my coach told me. They're not really tasty here in Mexico. I'm more concerned about the mangoes. I love mangoes. Anyway, no more watermelons, no more melons, no more olives, no more protein bars and protein balls that I admire, and that's kind of been my way of substituting on like sweets and sugar. I've been like eating those, but no more. Obviously no more cheat meals. What else has changed? So the amount of fruits and vegetables has changed, because previously I was allowed to eat 350 grams of selected fruits, 250 grams of selected and allowed berries, and 350 grams of colored allowed vegetables. So all in total, we were looking at, and don't judge my math, 950. So that was all in total. Now, it's all changing to being 500 total of allowed fruits, vegetables, and berries. Like it doesn't matter the proportion of fruit, veg, or berry. I just have to make sure that I don't eat more than 500 of those per day, which is actually pretty decent amount if you think about it. Like I've been consciously like trying to eat less colored stuff and more green stuff anyway, because I knew that that is coming. So right now it's just the berries that I'm like really eating a lot, because I just love berries. And also the requirements for my protein powder changed. So I can only eat protein powder that has less than 3 grams of carbs per serving, which is good because actually the powder that I get, it's from Falcon, and they are actually below that number. They're like 2 point something, I forgot. I did experiment with different protein, but it was actually way higher in carbs and way higher in fats, and actually more artificial in flavor. So I'm happy that I'm going back to my Falcon vegan protein. I wish the video was sponsored by them, maybe next one. And what else? Oh yeah, the quantity of crisp breads. I have a thing with the rice crackers and the crisp breads. So I like to like overeat them sometimes. That's my way of kind of like hitting my carbs per day. Not the right thing to do, so don't get inspiration from listening to this. So now my crisp bread intake is limited to 50 grams per day, which is pretty a lot if you think about it. If one crisp bread is like about 8 grams, so you can do the math. It's a lot of crisp bread. So that's been a lot about what is not allowed, but now let's look at what is allowed. So a big list of things that I can still eat, and the way how I'm gonna eat it will be separated by time. And I'm gonna share the link below where you can actually, see the list. And if you want to download it, feel free to. And if you want to stick to it, feel free to. But one thing to understand that this particular list of food and this diet have been designed for me, for my body. So by no means what I eat will be good for you as well. So please do your own research before committing to any of what you hear, because none of this content that I'm sharing is intended to be taken as it is, as the manual to consumption. It's just make your own decisions based on your own research. I'm just sharing my own personal experience, nothing more than that. That was all on the nutrition. Let's talk about the training. So training is going well, a bit identical because my training program hasn't changed. I feel better resting on the rest days because I actually train so hard that I just cannot do shit on my rest days. And I do feel tired if I, do something on my rest day. If I decide to do some unplanned cardio session, then when I actually go to the gym and do my normal training, I feel less energized to do it. So I accepted the need for rest. Good for me. I do feel definitely way stronger mind and muscle connection, especially in my glutes. So I've been doing my current program for 2 months now, and only last week I felt such a strong engagement in my glutes like I've never felt ever before. And I've been doing the same exercises for so long, and I feel like on the last week it actually hit me so hard that I was like, that's it, that is it. And yeah, I feel like I had the best ever glute session actually last week. The only thing that is concerning me, oh yeah, by the way, my shoulder, I feel like it's healed. I still was taking it easy in my last shoulder day, just trying not to overstress it because there was definitely a problem, but it's going good now. I'm not trying to get any heavier loads on it yet. I'm just working with what I used to work, and so far it's good. But what's concerning me is that I have a problem with my cycle again, which I don't understand why, because I eat a lot of fats, a lot. I eat 70 grams of fats per day, right? It's pretty decent amount. But I still have this delay, and I feel because of that, the level of hormones changed in my body, and because of that, I did feel really weak in the last 2 trainings. I wasn't able to take my normal load. I was feeling really tired and weak, and that was really strange. My emotional state, at this point, it's fine. I don't feel anything. I know that I'm just starting my cutting phase. It literally been the second day, and I'm still on a high carb intake. So I don't even feel like the cut properly started, even though I know it did. I do think that emotional changes will probably become more evident, like in my next video in 2 weeks from now. That's when at least I expect them to come out. So before I end this session, I want to talk more about my stage presence, because it's the time to decide, how I'm gonna appear, how I'm gonna look, because it's not just about obviously building muscle and learning how to pose, but it's also about how I'm gonna present myself on the stage. And after going to see the show here in Playa, I realized how important that is as well. So because a lot of people do like save money on their costumes, and you can see that. You can see who got a cheap swimsuit, like you can just tell. So I'm going for a really expensive one, and I'm shocked by how much I'm paying for this fucking swimsuit. Honestly, it's ridiculous price. Like for that money, they should bring me, I don't know, the golden version of it. But anyway, there are not many providers of this stage wear, and especially because IFBB Elite Pro, they have a different style of a stage swimwear than IFBB Pro League. And because IFBB Elite Pro is a little bit smaller and a newer and a younger federation, there isn't many manufacturers. So out of everything that I saw, I decided to go for the best one, and that's the SV Bikini. They are really popular, really famous within the industry, and all the successful athletes who are the winners, who are the champions, they are getting their bikinis from them. And also I've been advised by my coach to look into them. So I've been looking into a few options. You can see some of the options that I've been looking at. So I actually settled on one, and yesterday I actually paid my deposit. So today I need to go and actually do some measurements of myself, because I have no idea what cup I'm wearing, because I never wear like normal bra. So I have to go to store and actually try a bra to know what like the cup and the size that I need. I'm not gonna tell you which design I went for. It's one of the designs you saw on the screen. So I want to build anticipation until it arrives, and then show it to you all on a stage with my all the jewelry that I will still have to find for it. And I also decided on my hairstyle, so I'm not gonna come out like this, even though initially I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with my short hair, it's my hair. I shouldn't do anything about it because it's a part of my identity. But actually, I saw something really cool, and I'm gonna have very, very different hair to what I have right now. It's still gonna be blue. That thing not gonna change. So I'm gonna keep the anticipation on my hair and on my swimsuit, and I'm gonna share it with you when it starts coming together, where all parts of the puzzle will start fold into one piece. Then you will be able to see the product of all this crazy journey. And I hope I wasn't as bloated as I am right now, because I actually ate so much lentils, so I have to wear this like super baggy t-shirt so you don't see my swollen belly. Otherwise you'll be like, what are you talking about? What bodybuilding stuff you're doing? You're a fat ass. But I am right now, so it happens, right? Happens to the best of us. Sometimes we just get swollen and bloated, and there is nothing you can do about it. You cannot be 100% lean all the time, and that's a very important thing to remember and acknowledge. And on this journey, I'm learning to love myself in any shape, in any form, because the work that I put into this body and this mind is really hard, and it's really important. And it's a really great way to accept who you are by going through this journey, because you end up seeing yourself at your peaks and at your lowest points as well. And accepting that and still, being willing to love yourself regardless of where you are within this, up and down roller coaster type of thing, it's really important. And that what makes us, strong, and that what makes us able to live our life to the fullest and be happy about it. So yeah, and that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm really grateful for your watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in 2 weeks on the 21st of July with even more updates. I don't even know how crazy it's going to be, because at that point I will be officially in my cutting phase for 2 weeks. So I am expecting to experience a lot of new sensations. I wish you all the best.